If you have pain in the front of your thigh and the outside of your hip, an electric dull pain that's hard to pinpoint but constant, it's very likely that you have cruralgia. Cruralgia is the sister of sciatica. We've all heard about it. Sciatica is the pain that appears in the buttock, runs down the back of the leg, and is most often caused by a problem at the disc level. Cruralgia is exactly the same, except that the pain runs more along the side and front of the thigh. In both cases, the treatment is neural mobilization, and I want you to really understand how the nervous system works so you can see why these exercises are effective. Take a close look at our spine. We have different yellow roots that come out on each side, and from the base of the skull, a bunch of heads appear. Electrical ones whose function is to carry electricity, and those for touch, heat, cold from our skin and our joints to the brain, as if it were a two-way road. A lot of nerve roots appear on each side, giving strength and sensitivity to all parts of our body. When there is a disc problem or a lower back problem, those nerves can become compressed and cause certain symptoms, in the form of a dull, stabbing electric pain, which can greatly improve through simple neural gliding exercises. What we aim to do is to mobilize that nerve along its entire path, from the head to the lower limb, in this case the leg. Since the nerves that cause cruralgia originate at the lumbar level and run along the front of our thigh into the leg, what we want is to pull and release tension from each of the two ends, from the head to the leg, so that the nerve can glide, improve its health, and reduce the possibility of compression along its path. It may seem complicated, but don't worry, because I will guide you through it in 3 different poses with 3 different levels of difficulty, so you can find the one that best suits your abilities. To do these 3 poses, you will need a mat, a sofa, a chair, and finally, some cushions. Let's start with position number 1, the easiest one if you can handle lying face down. In this position, we're going to get really relaxed with our pubic bone in full contact with the mat and our arms placed in a pyramid or triangle shape just in front of us. If you're the type of person who feels a lot of pain in the lower back when lying like this, you can use a small cushion between your belly button and pubic bone to relieve that tension. From here, we need to visualize the 2 ends of that nerve. One starts at the head and the other goes all the way down to the foot, as if it were a ribbon, a cable that goes from our head all the way to the toes. We're going to add tension on one side by bending that knee, pointing your toes downward, which stretches the nerve. Let's go. At its most distal part, at the level of the leg, and then I want you to release tension at the head by looking up at the ceiling. What does this do? The nerve shortens in the neck but stretches at the level of the leg, which causes it to mobilize. I relax at the level of the leg, tuck my chin in, round my neck, which increases the tension above but decreases it below. I relax. We pull that nerve upward, 2 change of direction. I tilt my head back, look up at the ceiling, lift my leg, point my toes downward, stretch the whole front part of my leg and reduce tension in my neck. 3 opposite side. Toes toward me, knee fully stretched, chin to chest, round your back and up. Toes pointing down, I look up at the ceiling. 4, and we continue until we complete 10 repetitions. This is the easiest, simplest level, the one that produces the least sensations, but it is true that you may feel heat, cold, burning, or a slight increase in sensations or neurological symptoms. It's completely normal to feel an increase in pain in the front of the thigh or on the outside of the leg, since we are moving the nerve and it can cause some irritation. We are moving the nerve within its sheath. The sheath to prevent restrictions or adhesions anywhere along its path. Let's do 4 more because I've lost count. I tuck my chin in, round my cervical and lumbar spine well, adding tension here, switch, lower, lower, look up at the ceiling, point my toes down. and I hold for a few seconds. If you have neck issues, dizziness, or neck pain, you could do the exercise very slowly or simply move your leg while keeping your head, for example, in a neutral position. It won't be as effective, but it's a different way to work on it. This is the gentlest level. This one produces the least sensation. Now we will see a second, more accessible standing variation. You can lie face down, and for those of you who have more neck issues, let's do two more. I tuck in my chin, round my cervical area, upper back, stretch my leg, point my toes toward me, arch my cervical spine, look up at the ceiling, releasing cervical tension and adding tension to the leg. Last one. It's also a demanding exercise for the lower back area. If you feel any discomfort, don't hesitate to do the next variation standing up. Very good. When you finish, I recommend not getting up suddenly since we've been in lumbar extension for quite a while. We lie face down and you might feel some discomfort in the lumbar area. Then we turn a little to the side, breathe until you feel that lumbar area relax. And next we move on to the standing variation, and finally we come back here to the couch to tackle a much greater challenge. Grab a chair or stand near a piece of furniture or the wall. For me, this is the most comfortable variation of neural gliding exercises for cruralgia, since it can be done standing and you don't need to rest your knees on the floor. Let's continue with the example of the right leg. And basically it's based on the same thing we've seen before, but from a different position. We lean on that chair and grab the ankle with our right hand. Here we're already putting some flexion tension on the front part of the thigh. If we want to add more, what we can do is move that knee further back, which creates even more tension and tightness in the front part of the thigh. That's regarding the most distal part, the lower part. If we want to work on the upper part by adding or removing tension, it's the head movement we've already seen. If we look up at the ceiling, we shorten here and eliminate tension. If we look down and round, what we do is add tension to the upper area. So basically it's about alternating between one and the other. If I remove tension in the upper area, I move my leg back. Therefore, I'm pulling that nerve down toward the foot. If I also plantar flex my foot, that's even better. And on the contrary, if I bring my toes toward me, the knee toward my chest, round my back, and bring my chin to my chest, I'm introducing tension in the neck and removing that tension from the leg. The same thing we talked about before. We pull from one place, we pull from another, we improve its gliding to reduce any kind of compression that exists along its path. We're going to do 10 repetitions, we'll try it, and then we'll move on to level 3 on the floor. I only recommend this level if the first one felt good for you or if you had difficulties with the position when lying face down. Let's go for it. I want you to take a breath, knee back, point your foot down, look up at the ceiling, exhale, and do the opposite movement. Pull your toes toward you, round your back, chin to your chest, knee up. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 15, 19, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 33, 34. 36, 37, 39, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. Igual. 3. 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 82, 92, 93, 94. 4. 95. 5. 96. 96, 97 head. Let's continue. I move that knee back. 98, 99, 100, 100, 100, 100. At the neck, I add tension below, point the foot downward, Then release 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 46, 47, 51. 58, 54,555,657. 83, 84, 86, 89, 90, 97, 99, 100. And 10. We rest that leg, we walk a little. You already know that there may be mild occasional pain due to the increased tension on the nerve. And after this, we go back to the mat for that last level. We already have everything ready. Stool, sofa, a couple of cushions to tackle level 3. I'm letting you know that it's the most complicated of all, the most complex. And I only recommend doing it if the previous two have worked well for you, since this is actually an acrobatic pose. Here we've set up 2 cameras so you don't miss a single detail of the exercise, and we're going to need 2 cushions, the sofa, and the stool. Place that stool in front of you with your back to the sofa, put one knee down. This time we're going to work on the left leg. Place your leg on the cushions. Your knee is going to take some pressure, so make sure to use several cushions. That way your foot will be resting on the sofa. If you can't put your foot there, you can use an ottoman, a couple of thicker cushions, a nightstand, whatever works. Find a height where your foot can be supported. Lean firmly on that stool and bring your opposite leg forward. Make sure to wear flexible pants, otherwise they'll end up tearing. And from here, stand up very straight. As you can see, if you followed the previous variations, you've probably already noticed that here we're creating a lot of tension in all the nerve roots. Nerviosas anteriores at the level of the thigh, so you'll start to feel certain sensations in the front of your thigh, even around the pelvis. This is the situation. If we want to add more tension, we're going to move the pelvis forward, which adds a lot of tightness to the front of the thigh. And we're going to relieve tension by moving the head back here. As always, what we do is reduce tension at the cervical level and add tension at the distal level. The stool helps us keep our balance. Hold for a few seconds and then do the opposite movement. You bring your groin back here, round your back, and tuck your chin toward your chest, which increases tension up here in the most proximal area, but decreases tension in the most distal part. And we alternate between one and the other. As always, what we do is pull from one end, pull from the other, slide that nerve up and down so that those adhesions break again, and the blockage decreases. Basically, we pull from one side, pull from the other, pull from one side, pull from the other. Just like the principle we saw at the beginning of the video, we're gonna do 10 repetitions. Take a breath from here. Exhale, move your pelvis forward, head back, look at the ceiling. Add tension below, reduce it at the base of the skull. Inhale. And the opposite, I tuck my pelvis in, I round my back. It goes in. And I sit back a little so there's less tension in my thigh. I take a breath. My pubis moves closer to the chair, my head tilts up toward the ceiling, and we exhale. Two, let's try to do 10 repetitions together. More intense than the previous ones, more demanding, it can produce more sensations, even a temporary worsening of the pain. 4. I bring my buttocks closer to the bench, exhale, tuck my chin in, and lean back. I have 6. If you have knee pain, try one of the previous variations. 7. If you have neck discomfort, do it without changing the position of your head. That's also perfectly fine. We add tension and relax. 8. Last 2. 9. 10. Very good. That feels great. The exercises for cruralgia are a bit unpleasant, with situations or positions that are a little more extreme. Try them all. All 3 have different levels of difficulty. Try to keep moving and do at least 3 to 4 sets of 10 repetitions. We have only done 1 set. You should do 1 set, rest for 30 to 40 seconds, another set, rest, and so on until you complete 4. Twice a day, a 4-set routine is more than enough to start mobilizing that nerve, improving how it functions, and also reducing the sensations. I hope you were able to find the level of difficulty that best suits your abilities, that you enjoyed the video, and that you can share it with those who have cruralgia, which is one of the most overlooked conditions when it comes to the back, and above all, that you come back to my channel in the future to keep improving. Right before you go, I want to remind you that every Sunday I send out the videos I publish during the week. It's the best way to stay updated on my content and to keep taking care of your health. If you want to subscribe, it's completely free. You just have to click on an image that will appear right here on the left over my face, the one with the email envelope icon. Once you're there, leave your email and you'll be signed up and receive the next newsletter on Sunday. Best regards, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye, friends. Goodbye.